Have you ever wondered if a girl secretly likes you but keeps it to herself? What if I told you that attraction isn't always loud? It's often hidden in the quiet moments. Real emotions usually reveal themselves in silence in a world where people constantly seek attention through words and actions. Not everyone expresses their feelings openly, and when it comes to attraction, some people prefer to keep their emotions guarded, whether out of shyness, fear, or simply a desire to let things unfold naturally. But if you pay attention, the truth is always there, written in subtle gestures, small details, and quiet actions. Stoicism teaches us that observation is a powerful tool. Instead of overanalyzing every interaction or getting lost in wishful thinking, a Stoic mind learns to see things as they are. It teaches us to recognize patterns, understand human behavior without unnecessary attachment, and differentiate between what we can control and what we can't. When it comes to relationships, this means understanding the silent language of attraction without letting emotions cloud our judgment. The difference between seeing what is real and getting lost in illusions often comes down to our ability to observe without expectation. Imagine this: you're talking to someone, and she remembers the smallest details about something you said weeks ago. She never directly says she likes you, but her eyes light up when she sees you. She listens with full attention, as if your words genuinely matter to her. These aren't coincidences, they are signals. Signals that reveal a deeper level of interest. But here's the challenge. Most people miss these signs because they expect attraction to be obvious, loud, and direct. That's not always the case. Sometimes the strongest feelings are the ones that go unspoken. By the end of this video, you'll recognize the hidden signs that reveal when someone truly values you without saying a word. You'll learn how to read between the lines, notice what most people overlook, and develop the kind of awareness that helps you navigate relationships with clarity and confidence. Let's begin. 1. She remembers the smallest details about you. Have you ever mentioned something small, your favorite book, a childhood memory, or a random preference, only to have someone bring it up weeks later? It's not just a coincidence. When someone truly values you, they remember the details. Not because they have a great memory, but because you matter to them. Our minds naturally filter out most of what we hear every day. But when someone holds emotional significance, our brain treats their words differently, storing them with care. Imagine this. You casually mention in a conversation that you love a certain book. You don't think much of it. It's just part of the flow of discussion. Then, weeks later, she brings it up again. Maybe she asks about your favorite part. Maybe she even picked up a copy herself. That's not just politeness. That's investment. It means your words left an imprint, and she wanted to hold on to that connection. Most people let details slip by because they're only half listening. But when someone listens with intention, even the smallest details stick. Stoicism teaches us that attention is one of the purest forms of generosity. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full focus is a rare and valuable act. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." To listen deeply is to care, and to remember is to show that care in action. If someone consistently recalls little things about you, they aren't just being polite, they are paying attention, and in a way that's a form of silent affection. But here's where a Stoic perspective comes in. You must observe without assumption. Not every act of remembrance is a confession of hidden feelings. Some people are simply thoughtful by nature. The key is in patterns. Does she remember things no one else does? Does she bring up details in a way that shows personal investment? If so, you may be more significant to her than you realize. Stoicism teaches us to see things as they are without clinging to false hopes. Instead of overanalyzing, just observe. If her actions consistently show deep attention, that's more revealing than any words she could say. 2. Her eyes light up when she sees you. They say the eyes never lie, and in many ways that's true. You can fake a smile, control your words, and mask emotions with carefully chosen expressions, but the eyes always tell the truth. When someone truly likes you, their face naturally lights up the moment they see you. It's not something they consciously do. It's a raw, unfiltered reaction. Their pupils dilate, their gaze softens, and for a moment, there's a spark of warmth that cannot be forced. This is the power of non-verbal communication. Imagine walking into a room, not expecting anything special, and then you see her. More importantly, she sees you. Even if she's in the middle of a conversation, there's a brief flicker of recognition, a small but unmistakable change in her expression. Maybe her posture shifts slightly. Maybe there's an involuntary smile, or for just a second, her eyes reveal something she hasn't yet put into words. These little moments speak louder than any confession. People may try to suppress their emotions, but their eyes often betray them. From a Stoic perspective, we are taught to observe the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change." This applies not only to our judgments about ourselves, but also to our judgments about others. We must see without illusion, without wishful thinking. If someone's body language consistently shows warmth and excitement around you, accept it for what it is. If it doesn't, don't chase something that isn't there. The key to understanding these signals is not to overanalyze or project your desires onto them. Instead, simply observe. Does she light up when she sees you? Is there an unconscious shift in her energy? These are things that cannot be faked or controlled. But remember, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control how others feel about us, only how we respond. Whether her gaze holds affection or indifference, the lesson remains the same. See clearly, without attachment to the outcome. What is real will reveal itself in time. 3. She finds excuses to be around you. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers through the quiet choices someone makes, like the places they choose to be, the paths they cross, and the moments they create without making it obvious. When someone likes you but stays silent, one of the clearest signs is their desire to be near you, whether by coincidence or by quiet intention. She won't always say she wants to see you, but somehow she appears where you are. Maybe it's at events she never used to attend, a cafe she suddenly visits, or paths that conveniently align with yours. Imagine you mention in passing that you usually grab coffee at a specific spot before work. A few days later, she casually mentions how she started going there too, saying it has a great atmosphere. Or maybe she suddenly takes an interest in an activity you're involved in, something she previously never talked about. These are not direct confessions, but they are subtle signals. A person who has no interest in you has no reason to adjust their routine to be closer. But when someone values your presence, even in silence, they find ways to be near. From a Stoic perspective, true wisdom is found in observing patterns, not just words. Epictetus reminds us, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This applies to human interactions as well. People often say things they don't truly mean, but actions are honest. If someone makes an effort to be around you without seeking attention, it speaks volumes. However, the Stoic mindset also teaches us to see things clearly, free from illusion. Just because someone happens to be in the same place doesn't always mean it's intentional. This is why we must look for consistency. Is it a pattern or just a coincidence? Does she seem genuinely interested in where you are, or is it simply circumstance? Wisdom is in knowing the difference. Instead of jumping to conclusions, observe with a calm mind and let the truth reveal itself in time. 4. She listens intently to what you say. When someone truly values you, they don't just hear your words, they absorb them. They remember the little things, ask thoughtful questions, and make you feel like what you say matters. In a world where most people listen just to reply, real attention is rare. But when someone listens intently, without distraction or the urge to interrupt, it reveals something deeper than casual interest. It shows care, respect, and an emotional connection that words alone can't express. Think about the last time you had a conversation where you felt truly heard. Maybe you mentioned a minor struggle and later she checked in to see how you were doing. Or perhaps you casually shared a childhood memory and weeks later she brought it up in conversation. These small moments, insignificant to most, are significant to her. She's not just engaging in surface-level talk. She's showing you, without saying it outright, that you matter. Most people drift through conversations distracted, waiting for their turn to speak. But a person who listens deeply leans in, makes eye contact, and gives their full presence. They notice the emotions behind your words, not just the words themselves. This is rare because it requires effort. And effort, especially in the form of attention, is one of the strongest indicators of genuine interest. In Stoicism, presence is one of the highest forms of value. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, give yourself entirely to what is before you. When someone listens to you with full presence, they are offering their most valuable resource, time. And time is something no one can ever get back. A person can fake compliments, laughter, or forced enthusiasm, but they cannot fake the gift of presence. However, the Stoic mindset also reminds us to see clearly without wishful thinking. Some people are naturally good listeners, while others may listen with hidden motives. The key is to observe patterns. Does she consistently remember things that matter to you? Does she engage with your thoughts in a meaningful way? Attention, when genuine, is a powerful signal, and those who truly care don't just listen, they understand. 5. She mirrors your gestures unconsciously. Human connection is often silent, expressed in ways most people don't even notice. One of the strongest yet most unconscious signals of attraction is mirroring. When someone subtly imitates your gestures, speech patterns, or even your energy. This isn't done deliberately. It happens instinctively when we feel connected to someone. The body reveals what the mind tries to hide. Imagine you're sitting across from someone having a conversation. You lean back in your chair, and a few moments later, she does the same. You take a sip of your drink, and without realizing it, she lifts her own. You cross your arms, and seconds later, her posture shifts similarly. These actions aren't forced or planned. They are natural signs of rapport. The more she feels aligned with you, the more her body subconsciously mirrors yours. Psychologists have studied this phenomenon for years, finding that mirroring is a deep-rooted behavior tied to human bonding. It creates a sense of connection, making interactions feel smoother and more comfortable. In fact, people who mirror each other's gestures often report feeling more understood and in sync, even if no words are exchanged. It's a language beyond speech, one that reveals emotions before they are ever spoken aloud. Stoicism teaches us to observe reality as it is, free from illusion or attachment. While words can be misleading, the body rarely lies. Marcus Aurelius once wrote about the importance of seeing things clearly without judgment clouded by personal desire. If someone mirrors you consistently, it's not a coincidence. It's a glimpse into their unspoken feelings. However, awareness is key. The Stoic perspective reminds us not to jump to conclusions, but to recognize patterns. A single moment of mirroring may mean nothing, but repeated instances suggest a deeper connection. It's in these quiet, unintentional actions that true feelings are often revealed. Instead of searching for obvious signs, pay attention to the subtle ones. The truth is always there, waiting to be seen. 6. She supports your dreams quietly. True interest goes beyond fleeting attraction. It's not just about words, compliments, or grand gestures. It's about support, belief, and quiet encouragement. When someone genuinely cares for you, they don't need to make loud declarations. Instead, they show their interest in the simplest yet most profound way, by standing beside you as you move toward your goals. Imagine mentioning a dream in passing. Perhaps you want to start a business, write a book, or improve a skill. You don't expect anyone to remember, but weeks later, she brings it up, asking how it's going. Maybe she subtly encourages you, sending an article she found on the topic, reminding you of a deadline, or simply saying, "I know you'll do great." She never forces her support on you and never tries to take control of your path. She simply listens, understands, and quietly cheers you on from the sidelines. Stoicism reminds us that real strength lies in action, not in words. The strongest form of love is not possession, but silent encouragement. A person who truly values you does not try to shape your path to fit their desires. They do not demand recognition for their support. Instead, they find joy in watching you grow, in seeing you overcome obstacles, and in knowing they played even a small part in your journey. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The right people don't shield you from struggle, but they remind you why the struggle is worth it. When doubt creeps in, they are the ones who remind you of your potential, not by forcing you to believe in yourself, but by never doubting you in the first place. Many mistake love for ownership, thinking that care must be loud, possessive, or controlling. But the true connection is found in quiet acts of belief, when someone supports you without needing credit, when they remember your ambitions without being asked, when they celebrate your victories without making it about themselves. That's how you recognize someone who truly values you, not in what they say, but in what they do when no one is watching. 7. She remembers your likes and dislikes. When someone truly values you, they don't just hear your words, they remember them. They pay attention to the little things that make you who you are. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic confessions. It's about knowing what makes you smile, what irritates you, and what makes your day a little better. It's the quiet recognition of your preferences, the unspoken acknowledgement that who you are matters. Imagine mentioning in passing that you don't like a certain food, and the next time you're out together, she subtly avoids ordering it. Or maybe you once talked about a song that reminds you of good memories, and later she casually plays it when you're around. These aren't coincidences. They are small but meaningful signs that she listens, remembers, and cares. Love is not just felt, it is understood. A Stoic knows that people reveal their true selves through actions, not words. Affection isn't always displayed through loud proclamations. Sometimes it's as simple as remembering how you take your coffee, the way you prefer silence over small talk when you're tired, or the little habits you don't even notice about yourself. When someone values you, they create a space where you feel seen, not by demanding attention, but by offering it freely. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what is within our control, and that includes how we observe and appreciate the people in our lives. We cannot force anyone to care for us, but we can recognize when they do. The ability to see these subtle signs keeps us grounded, preventing us from chasing empty words while missing genuine connection. In a world where distractions are endless, where people often forget conversations as soon as they happen, real attention is rare. When someone remembers the smallest details about you, it's a sign of true presence. A reminder that in the quiet moments of life, genuine care is never loud. It's simply there, steady and unshaken. The real attraction is often found in the spaces between words, in the quiet actions that speak louder than any confession. It's in the way someone remembers your favorite book, how their eyes light up when they see you, or the subtle ways they find excuses to be near you. These small, consistent actions reveal more about their feelings than any grand gesture ever could. When someone truly values you, their care shows in the details, in the things they remember, the way they listen, and the silent support they offer. Stoicism teaches us the power of observation without attachment. The key is not to overanalyze every interaction, searching for hidden meanings that may not exist. Instead, focus on what is consistent and genuine. Notice patterns, but do not let your happiness hinge on them. Emotional detachment doesn't mean distancing yourself from people. It means freeing yourself from unrealistic expectations. When we detach from the need for constant validation, we allow relationships to grow naturally, without forcing them into predefined boxes. It's easy to get caught up in the complexities of human behavior, reading too much into every glance or gesture. But true wisdom lies in simplicity. Recognize the signs of genuine interest without clinging to assumptions. Trust that authentic feelings will reveal themselves over time, not through words, but through actions that are steady and sincere. When words fail, actions whisper the truth. Pay attention, but don't cling to assumptions. In the end, the wisest path is to observe, appreciate, and let things unfold naturally. By embracing this mindset, you allow connections to form organically, rooted in mutual respect and genuine affection.